a whole 12 minutes. I can't believe it. Anyway, this is the Chelsea Football FanCast. I am, of course, Stamford Chidge, and that is Jonathan Kidd, and this is Dr. Mart, the Werther's original of the Chelsea FanCast. And this is the new young blood, my new signing, Seb. Aren't you pleased? In fact, it's actually Frank Lampard, but we've done that gag to death, and I'm not going to do it ever again. Right. We're not having Sepp. What are you talking? I've got somebody talking about Sepp Blatter in my ear. What's going on? I don't know. I'm going to ignore it and carry on. Anyway, the bottom line is this: is that I actually thought it was a top performance. Unluckily, I wasn't there. I don't think any of us were there actually last night. Andy on the benches was definitely there last night, which is a top effort. But never mind. I enjoyed watching it, even though nervy start, going down 1-0. I thought that actually woke them up, really, Mark. You know, going down 1-0. They're a bit nervy. 1-0 down, it kind of like, oh my God, we're in a game.
Defence were caught a bit flat-footed and didn't really react to the threat. Well, we saw what happened. But,
I mean, thereafter, of course, we basically mullered them,
we played 20, 25 minutes of absolutely stunning
it was.
football.
I mean,
football.
We reckon so.
Like, obviously, it was a really bad start, giving the ball away. It was wet, it was raining, it was typical northern night.
It was grim.
Oh, it was grim. It is grim. Grim up north. Yeah.
Grim up north.
Aye. It was scintillating football. After they scored, we should have scored 3 or 4 really.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. Actually, no, we won't. We'll talk about it right now. I was actually, I thought it was very interesting because we were so dominant and playing so well and had so much fluidity in that first half. I was a bit disappointed in the second half that we didn't carry on. But then again, I thought about it and I thought, that's actually classic Mourinho. He shut up shop and he thought, well, we've won this game. We're in complete control. There is absolutely no point at a stage of the season when the guys are not fully fit yet.
No, half of them are just back from the World Cup.
Yeah.
They haven't
let's not waste or expend energy.
I got worried that they would get one back in the last 10 minutes.
As Mourinho said, he said, well, it could have been 4-1, it could have been 3-2.
Well, it would have been very interesting if the penalty had been given rather than the yellow card, because you've had to send the goalkeeper.
Well, it should have been. Should have been, shouldn't it?
Of course it should have been.
Yeah, but hey ho. But I mean, as I said, so I was a bit, but on the other hand, I thought, well, fair enough, Jose. I understand what you're doing with that, and I can't argue with that.
Are we going to discuss the penalty incident later?
We're going to do the penalty.
Or are we going to do it now?
I know you haven't got a script.
No, it's a secret, the script.
But actually, you know what? I didn't put it down. Do you want to talk about it?
Well, my feeling.
Should we have a vote? Should we have a vote out there?
Yes,
hands up. All of those who want to talk about the penalty incident. Yeah, okay, benches. There's one. They've woken up. Early goal, 1-0 down, and now they've woken up.
Why doesn't Harry want to talk about it?
I don't know. We'll talk to Harry about it later. Don't talk about Harry.
I think whether it was or whether it wasn't a penalty, there was contact. He probably could have given it. I think if the guy had stayed on his feet, he could have scored.
Stay on
he
your
would have
feet.
scored.
Stay on your feet.
But I think he really got.
He didn't have a goalkeeper to keep.
I think he really got tripped up, and that's why he didn't stay on his feet.
He could have got back on his feet.
I don't think he died.
The ball was in front of him. He could have got on his feet.
He got caught though. The goalkeeper caught him.
I need to establish this as a point of fact and order. You think it was rightly not awarded a penalty and he got a yellow card?
I don't really know whether it was a penalty or not. There was contact, probably.
Because basically that would make you...
Technically, it was probably a penalty.
That would make you only the second person in the world who thought it should have been a yellow card and wasn't a penalty, and the other person was Stan Collymore. So that meant they don't count. Stan Collymore, you and Stan Collymore are.
No, I didn't say it wasn't a penalty.
K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
I didn't say it wasn't a penalty. I said I don't care whether it was a penalty, and technically it was because there was contact.
This is like old style. Me and Ian every show.
It's because you don't listen, Chid.
It's because you talk rubbish.
I said technically there was contact, so technically it was a penalty, but I don't care about that.
No, you didn't.
If he got either stayed on his feet or got back on his feet.
He couldn't stay on his feet because he'd been tripped up by the goalkeeper. He was.
He left a foot in there.
Is this a 3-minute argument or a 5-minute argument? Anyway, I'm sorry, but I thought it was a blatant penalty. I thought so at the time. Jose did. What is really interesting, actually, is that afterwards, and I have to say, I mean, much as we loathe and knock Sky Sports, and also can't stand Carragher, I have to say that Carragher and Gary Neville are, by a country mile, the best pundits, football pundits on television now. And they gave a detailed analysis to why that was a penalty. Brad Friedel came out, I saw a tweet he did earlier today explaining exactly why it was a penalty. But I thought the most important and interesting thing about that was that normally when they do a cheat little dive, it's if they're running at him, it's their left leg that they do it with. But he had hurdled the keeper with his left leg, and basically the keeper caught his trailing leg, which he couldn't have moved out of the way.
That's why he fell over.
And that's why he fell over.
That's why he couldn't get up again to score.
Exactly.
The keeper's committed
Why couldn't he
himself.
put his front foot down and stay on his feet?
Well, I think the difference there is that he plays professional football, Martin, and you don't.
Have you never tripped over a carpet?
I'd like
Many a time, but usually drink has been taken.
Literally, the carpet isn't moving towards you.
Anyway,
Unless you've been
enough.
drinking.
Okay, let's talk to the benches and see what they have to say. Benches, what do you think? Was it a penalty or not? Put Martin in his place, please.
100% penalty.
I called it in the ground and I was 85 yards away.
Did the referee? The referee clearly didn't hear you, mate.
Yeah, I did scream loud, not quite loud enough by the looks of it. Yeah.
And had it gone the other way, had it been Courtois on the Burnley forward, but they've got the penalty for being at home.
Yeah, I know. I'm really cross that he got a yellow card because he so clearly did not deserve a yellow card. But anyway,
I'd like to know what the lino was doing. I'd like to know why he did
polishing his nails, I think. Well, actually, Carragher said something very interesting on Sky Sports because he got all kind of confused. I don't know what they do anyway. You know, what's the point of them beating? I don't make decisions. Don't make decisions, do they? You know, and he's right, actually. I think whatever you could understand out of what he said, but I basically thought,
I understood that last bit that you did.
Yeah.
Don't make decisions.
They do that, don't they? They do that, don't they? Oh, the old Scousers.
Sounds like a Welsh Asian.
Yeah, that's obviously a Scouse. Anyway, I'm moving on. I think we've done the penalty to death. The other thing that I think as a general kind of ting was that I just felt, you know, before the game, Mourinho kind of naughtily said, I've found the way to unlock unlock the defences. You know, he's obviously
Very good impression.
yeah.
He did. He got Fabregas.
It's a very special way to do it. Anyway, maybe that's true, you know, but I kind of got the feeling that they did. And the other thing that I really noticed about the game as a whole, actually they did mention this afterwards on the punditry, to be fair, but when we attack at corners and set pieces, we've got 5 monsters. We've got Branner, Cahill, Terry, Matic and Costa, all at set pieces, all going in the ball. And we also have somebody, now this is a novelty for Chelsea, somebody who can deliver a corner.
Yeah, for the first time.
Hello?
And not hitting the first time.
I know. But you could see it. They showed this lovely replay where Branner scored, actually, where these 5 guys just bearing down on
They
Burnley.
practiced it. You thought,
No,
this is
really?
rare.
That's novel, isn't
It
it?
was Rob
No,
Earl who
amazing.
pointed that out.
Anyway,
It's the first person we've had that could take a corner since Belletti.
oh, I thought Soxy could take corners. Graham
Belletti
So
took
could
a
take.
brilliant-
Zola could take
Belletti's
corners.
later.
Yeah, well, he
Since
was early.
Belletti,
He was
he's
early.
later.
Oh, that's true.
Since Belletti.
Okay.
I'm very pleased that you're here to
Fair
back me
enough.
up on the historical
All right.
facts that Chidge always disagrees with.
Okay. I like to I'm very disagreeable.
You are.
That's what my role is on this show. It's to
very
be disagreeable.
argumentative.
And that too. Okay, now we're going to go on to
No,
Costa.
you're not.
Yes, I am. Oh, no, you're not. It's not Panto season yet. You're probably
Behind
practicing
you.
early.
I am
Have you been
practicing
signed up for a Panto?
Simple Simon.
Simple Simon. And you're playing Simon, obviously.
Or the pie man.
Yeah. No, I'm the pie
He
man.
could be the pie man.
Yeah, he will.
I've lost weight. I'm sorry. That is a gross. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this to you, gallery. You're going to look. This is what pre-season means. You know, right? There was less of Chidge than there was last year. You know, and that's because I've not been to any football for 3 months and therefore haven't been. On
You haven't been eating the pies.
So
Exactly.
it will regrow as
Anyway,
the season,
enough.
season goes on.
I want to talk about Diego Costa because you know what a difference it makes to have a proper striker playing for us. And let me add, this is his debut. He scored his debut goal on 17 minutes, and other strikers who I wouldn't possibly dream of coating off publicly or on air took 732 minutes to score their debut goal. So there you go. But isn't it lovely to have a proper striker? I mean, I thought his runs were like really intelligent. The way he moved the defence out of position, allowing space for the place like Schürrle and the other midfielders to go into.
Yeah, exactly. So he draws out the defender, so it allows people like Ramirez, Hazard, Schürrle to all these runs beyond the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what we've missed.
And
So many people making runs.
Yeah.
Schürrle was outstanding.
They had the runs, didn't they?
He was worth more than 7. That's what I thought he was worth.
Yeah, I agree completely. I thought Schürrle was.
No, I thought Schürrle had a cracking game. I think Schürrle's going to be. I think he's going to be a real star this year.
About him going to Atletico Madrid.
Why would he go there?
Why, absolutely, yeah.
You know, listen, this kid, you know, he's a World Cup winner.
23.
Yeah, he's 23. He's just had. He looks like Johnny Bravo. You know, but the fact of the matter is, his confidence must be absolutely up there at the moment, and I think that we're going to see that. We're going to see him.
I think the way he took the goal was great.
You know,
wasn't it?
that's
Such a cool
superb.
finish.
I can't wait. He's going to be fantastic. But I'm also quite excited about Diego Costa. Actually, he looks the
completely.
real deal, doesn't he?
It suddenly makes you realise what we've been missing. Well,
Yeah.
we knew anyway, but
Well,
to
we know
have
that.
somebody been
He
playing.
looks like
like
a big, nasty piece of work.
He does.
He does.
That's
And
what
but people are scared of him. That's a different. Nobody was ever scared of any of the other forwards that we had.
Not since
other
Mark
than,
Hughes.
yeah.
Or
They're
Well,
probably
and
scared,
Drogba,
they're
Drogba,
probably scared that
Drogba.
little bit of wee comes out when they laugh. I mean, that's.
I would think that's absolutely correct, actually. Or poo, even.
Yeah. I'm getting grief from the gallery here. They want more graphics on our show. It's boring. Well, you see, I put less graphics in because I didn't want to overload you in the gallery.
That was pretty
It
graphic,
being
what
the
we were talking
first
about.
show. How mean of you to say that when I was thinking only of you, dear gallery. Anyway, benches. What do you think of Diego Costa? Is he the real deal?
I think so, yeah. Real right time, right place to score the goal. Something that man Torres wouldn't be in there. Good finish. Led the line well, so looking very encouraging.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, Andy, you were there. What was the response in the ground to him?
Yeah, very good. Very great movement off the ball. Chased down all the balls that didn't get to him as well.
Is there a
Looked
song
really
yet,
good.
Andy?
I heard it.
What was it?
Was this his name?
Oh dear, we can't really sing it because it's a bit naughty, and I don't know the you know the tune to which it goes. The tune.
Diego Costa.
You can't do that.
We
can you?
can't really do it because it's a bit naughty, isn't it? Diego Costa, he's our striker. He's class. He came here from Atleti with Felipe and Courtois. And when we go to Anfield, he'll put Gerrard on his rear end. Oh, Diego Costa.
That's not
It's like it's the
the one I heard.
Balotelli
just
song.
singing his name.
Oh, Balotelli.
Yeah.
It's that one, yeah.
Anyway, we digress. The boys on the benches think that Costa's great. I do too. I think he will make the difference. But what worries me still, chaps, is the fact I still think we're slightly vulnerable in the striking department.
Yeah, well, I mean...
What happens if something happens to him?
Well, yesterday he got booked yesterday, and on another day he might have got sent off.
Yeah.
So, and if he does get injured, then well, it's not going to be Torres winning the league, is it? And it's not Drogba.
Are they possibly going to buy somebody else?
Well,
Do you
I think they
that's
will.
still
They
going on?
must do. They must do. They've
back
got
there.
to.
They can't leave it. Yeah. Well, it might be you.
No,
Running
it's
with it. Has he gone off on loan
Yeah,
somewhere,
he's going to
Bamford?
Middlesbrough.
He's going to
Call
Middlesbrough.
him back then.
Harry's shaking his head. I'm reliably informed from the garage. What do you reckon, H? Why are you shaking your head?
I just can't see us signing another striker.
You really can't. Why not?
Over the last couple of years,
But I mean, you know, there are people yet to be discovered in the Amazon rainforest who know who know that we need a striker. You know, another striker to back up Costa. So I mean, if we can see that, the club surely must know that. So I can't see that they won't. I really can't. But I could be wrong.
Need to move out 2 players, don't we, to get in one more. So we need to lose possibly Torres and one other to bring another foreign striker.
But I think there are a few lads in there that are going to be, you know, surprisingly vulnerable. I mean, obviously we're worried about Cech that we're going to talk about in a minute, but also, I mean, you know, Mikel, I think maybe his days are numbered.
Well, I think Van Ginkel's going on loan, I think.
Is he?
That's the room.
Yeah, and that
I
will
think
go
that's the
to.
one he's going.
Anyway, we digress. Talking of people who might be going, it was really quite interesting on Twitter before the match yesterday. You know, everybody coming out with, we know that Courtois is going to start and all the rest of it. And as it happened, I mean, so therefore, I don't think there was any real surprise that he started, was there, Seb?
No, he's only 22 years old, so he's still got there's 15 years at possibly the highest level, and you've seen at Atletico and for Belgium, his commanding of the box is so impressive, and I just think I wouldn't want to see Cech as a backup goalkeeper to play in the cup games, because that may be 10 games all season. I just couldn't see that for a club legend, our greatest ever goalkeeper.
I know.
I wouldn't like it. It would hurt.
It would hurt, wouldn't it?
Do the thing that England did when they had Shilton and Clements and just used to alternate.
Yeah, but that doesn't
you need
build
stability.
confidence
You need
in the
stability,
defence.
though.
You can't set records that way.
You can't. It won't build stability in the defence, and it also, you know, I don't think it will help Courtois. I think Courtois got the nod. He needs to have a run so that he can settle in. I mean, for me, I mean, I'm with Seb. I hate the fact that Cech's no longer our goalkeeper because I absolutely love the man. But equally, I would hate to see him just sit on the bench. The only thing that would mitigate that for me is, you know, I think the only reason that Didier Drogba's come back is to have some sort of a presence and an influence on the younger players and kind of mentor them through. And I would really like to see Cech stay at least until the January transfer window. So, for example, let's say he hardly gets a look in until January, and then you say, fair enough, off you go. But those 6 months, that he can mentor Courtois and, you know, help him through. And I think that, you know, if he has to go, I'd like to see a little bit of a benefit from Cech and his experience by being around until that happens.
Okay, just see it through Mourinho's eyes for a minute. He's got two world-class international players for every position on the field.
You bored, Jonathan?
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he want the same for the goalkeeper? And it does two things, having two players. Firstly, you've got cover if anyone gets injured.
Yeah, absolutely.
Secondly, it keeps the pressure on the one that's incumbent to stay good.
Don't get me
Just
wrong,
'cause you're
Mark.
in
I mean,
there doesn't mean you're going to stay good.
Like Jose, I'm chuffed and would be really happy to have the best 2 goalkeepers in the world at the club. I think that'd be great. But I can't, like Seb, I can't see Cech hanging around. He's too good. He'll want to go.
He's 32. He's 32. He's still got another 5 years at the highest level. Why would he be a number 2 when he can go to Paris? He can go
Wasn't
to
he reported as
discussion
sneaking
if we
out?
had the 2 best strikers in the world?
No, he wouldn't, because you can have more than 2 strikers in the club.
can play 2
JK.
goalkeepers.
Saying, wasn't he reported as having been the first to the bus and the first, and to have not been willing to speak to anybody about it? Cech last night. So they're trying to, whether the press are just making it up, but he's supposed to have been sulking.
Well,
somewhat
I've heard through very good sources, Rob Shepherd, that he's really not happy, Camper, at all about it. So I think there is a distinct likelihood that he might go before the transfer window
He'll
ends.
object then, so it might be Mourinho might not be able to do anything about it.
I think if the club get 10, 50 million pounds from him, they would say, take it and
then it
thank you.
If we analyse it, you've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world who's 22.
Yeah.
And if he gets injured, you've got Schwarzer, who's 42.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, yeah.
And then Chidge third choice.
Or Beanie.
I'm
He's
about
about
18
as well.
I'm older now than I was when I last saw you. Benches, what say you on this most indelicate subject?
Well, it shares.
Could say what goes around comes around, mate. But hang on, Jonathan. Are you happy though about it? I mean, I would rather see Cech stick around if I could. Cool. Well, I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell. Look, very, very quickly, just to wrap up this part, we are pretty much favourites for the title, and I think what was lovely about last night was that we really put down a marker on everybody else. We're top of the league. It'd be lovely to stay there.
Top of the league after one game, isn't that great?
We scored more goals than any of our competitors, and we were away, and we performed. I mean, I thought what was really interesting was the furore after the game last night, both from other fans and the media generally, who were quite excited and blown away by what they'd seen, which is lovely, isn't it, when we do that?
I love the crowd going completely quiet for nearly the whole of the second half. I thought that was absolutely
They did.
fantastic.
After our first goal went in, and I didn't hear anything from Burnley at all. Did you, Andy, when you were there?
They were very quiet up north, weren't they?
Can't hear you.
Hey ho, say la vie. Now, we are title favourites. Do we think we can do it this year?
Yeah, 100%, no doubts.
Benches think so. What say you, JK?
Definitely.
Yeah, we're justifiably favourites.
I think we could win a couple of trophies.
Yeah. You know what? This will come up later in the show, but you can get 400 to 1 on Chelsea winning all 4.
And I've got a tenner on that.
Yeah, I'll put a tenner on that, Dan. That's great stuff. Final word. Here's one for you, Seb. If we don't win the title, will Jose go, Seb?
Well, if we win the Champions League, he'll stay. But if we don't win the league, you know what Roman's like. They're better managers. They've been managers who've not won the league and been sacked for the same reason. So it's up to Roman.
I just feel
Obviously, you don't want to.
I think he could go another season without winning anything.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. If they play as wonderfully as they played last night, and it can only get better, I think, the more opportunities that the players get to give. It's a question of whether he puts other players in during the rest of the season, whether the other players are going to get a game. You know, Salah. What's going to happen to Salah?
I forgot about him.
He wasn't even on the bench, was he?
No, he wasn't. No.
Military service beckoned.
Yeah, well, indeed. Perhaps he might go out
Hopefully.
on loan. Perhaps because I don't think he said last year he's not a complete footballer yet.
He was a panic buy in January.
Yeah.
I know he scored a few goals, but it's not adding any quality.
He's very
Anyway,
quick,
we've
though.
got to go to a break, guys, because it's now time for part 3, just to give the gatherer a bit of warning, because I wasn't getting any counting down. You know, normally what happens on television is somebody's in your ear and they're saying you've got about 15 seconds to go, but you know, we just wing it here.
This is not normal.
You did say
television,
ear
mate.
then, didn't
It's
you?
not normal
Ear
television.
roll. Got somebody in my ear roll.
Not rear.
All right, okay. So in a few minutes we will be back amongst you and we will be talking fannies. I hope you've got your votes in. We'll see you in a few seconds.
Yay! Chidge!